Hey guys, Daniel here from Dog Club. Just going to speak to you today about dog management and why it's so important in the overall training of a dog. Now, it's also the first topic that we're going to cover in the School of the Hard Knocks course, which starts early May. So, what is dog management? It's essentially the time management of the dog on a day-to-day basis, from where the dog is kept to when the dog eats, when the dog trains, when the dog plays, and when we go for a walk, right? All these are integral parts of the overall makeup of the dog and management in order to keep the dog as a productive member of the household rather than a destructive member of the household, right? So let's start with how we keep the dog. I prefer to use a crate management system and a kennel management system outside. This allows me to take the dog from a place of confinement and proactively train the dog how I would like it to be in different situations from a day-to-day basis. So that could be from teaching the dog how I expect it to be when we're having a barbecue, teaching the dog how I would like it to be when my children are running around the house, right? These are all pictures that the dog learns, which it's going to have to deal with for the rest of its life. And I would rather teach the dog proactively how to be in those situations rather than reactively training bad behavior out of those dogs, which a lot of people will experience if the dog comes from a management system which is all about free ranging around the yard or around the house. The dog is only going to do things to better its own situation. They're opportunist. So if the dog has freedom to the full yard without actually understanding the rules or knowing what is expected of the dog, then essentially it's going to get into things that is going to better its own situation. Boredom might creep in, it's going to go dig, it might chew the hose, might chase birds, might run up and down the fence when the postie comes. All of this stuff can be avoided if we have a proper management system in place. So it's all about proactive training, and as the dog gets older and more conditioned to the ways of our household, we can give it more and more freedom and its world expands. It's very much like showing the dog or comparing the dog's management system to a baby's management system. The crate and kennel is very similar to the baby's cot. Now, if you just think of the schedule that a baby runs on, it basically has a sleep, it wakes up and changes its nappy, has an experience in the world, has some food, and goes back to sleep. This is how we start young dogs off on their scheduling so that we can proactively teach them the rules that we want them to have. Next thing is feeding. I basically train my dogs with all their existential food, so I don't have a set feeding schedule. You know, no 9 a.m. in the morning for breakfast, 6 p.m. at night. My dogs eat when they train, and I train when I have time to train. But what I guarantee is that I will train my dogs every day, so they do feed every day. This I do for a number of reasons, is because it builds a great work ethic in the dog. It allows them to build a respect for food, and it keeps their drive for food in check. It allows them to build a higher respect and keep you at a higher value because you're the one that's bringing the food, and they get to work for you in order to be rewarded with food. Now, this is a super important part to training a dogs. Now, I know there's some dogs out there that just do not have any food drive, but if we can get the dog to be heavily reinforced through food, then that's going to make our training a lot easier. Now, not all dogs, like I said, have a huge food drive, so what we can use also as a good reinforcer is play, right? Playtime is a super important part of the dog's day to day. It builds a great relationship with the owners because it's a time that we all just get to say, okay, well, we're all just going to have a bit of a goofball time right now, and we can sort of let our guard down a little bit in terms of rules and boundaries. However, there should still be some rules to the games in which we play with the dogs so that they clearly understand what's expected of them, even in that situation. But it's super fun time where we get to be in a heightened state of arousal with our dogs. And it's great for building relationship, great for training because we can use play as a great reinforcer. So that's another good important thing to think about when it comes to the dog's management. And thirdly, I'd like to talk about quickly going for a walk, right? Walks are super important in the dog's day to day, maybe not every day, but as much as you can, take the dog for a walk. Now, teaching the dog to walk and teaching the rules of the walk is super important, not only for relationship and bond, but for you to actually enjoy taking your dog for a walk. Now, don't rely on any tool specifically to make this magically happen. No pull harnesses, prong collars, choke collars that people call, right? Whatever tool is not going to teach your dog to walk. You, as the owner, must use the tool of your choice in order to teach your dog the rules of the walk. So don't invest too heavily in tools. The reason that this is good is because if the dog can slow down enough mentally to follow those rules on a structured walk and show impulse control from wanting to tear around the place, mentally it's going to drain their energy a lot more, right? They're going to take in the sights, they're going to take in those smells a lot more, but they're also going to be under the rules of the walk until we take them to a specified location. For me, it's usually the park around the corner, and when we get there, it's unclip the dog, free dog. She gets to go and do whatever she wants. If I take a ball with me, she gets to chase a ball. Otherwise, she can go sniff. She can, follow scents, whatever it is that she wants to do. And then when it's time to go, clip the dog back on. Okay, close. The rules are back on, and now we're going to walk home in a controlled manner. So that's what I have to talk about dog management. Like I said, it's topic number 1 in the School of the Hard Knocks course. If you want more tips about how to create a balanced dog, and you've got any suggestions for any topics that you'd like to know about, then just leave something in the comments below. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.